As we have begun to discuss Psukei de Zimra, the part of the davening in which we give a much more expansive praise of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, while we will have time to go through the different tfilos, Ashrei, Yishtabach, the Hallelujahs, I want to share a suggestion about the structure of davening and what we should think about as we are going through these tfilos. And it's based on a comment and a remarkable idea from Rav Shimon Schwab. We know that our davening is modeled a lot after the karbanos. The Gemara tells us in Brachos that either the tfilos, Shachairs, Mincha, Marav come from the avos or come from the karbanos. The times that we daven, Shachairs and Mincha, or Marav for that matter, are modeled after the time frame for the karbanos. So it's not surprising that not only is the idea of tefillah modeled after the karbanos, but that the structure of davening, the structure of tefillah is reflected in the architecture of the Beis Hamikdash. Not only are our shuls, which is a separate discussion, modeled so much of what the Beis Hamikdash used to look like and used to function as, but even our davening is a walking tour of the Beis Hamikdash. Says Rav Schwab, this could be a shir in and of itself, but says Rav Schwab, as you get to the Beis Hamikdash, you get to the Ezras Nashim, that were people assembled even before the doors were open. And here is a part of davening that isn't a formal part of the davening. Adon Olam, Asher Yatzar, Berchas Torah, things you might have done at home. You want to learn before davening, you're going to make a Berchas Torah at home. It's not formal tefillah, just like the Ezras Nashim was the beginning stages before you got into the Azara. And in fact, there are 15 steps from the Ezras Nashim to the Azara. There are 15 Berchos HaShachar. And this theme continues as you go through beginning of davening, the Shema that we say, the Karbanos that we say, as you passed where the Karban Tamid was offered, that's why we say the Karban HaTamid. And the Psukei de Zimra now is what Rav Schwab says is the Ulam. The Ulam is the antechamber that led to the Heichal. And we leave you, that's all, the praise is getting ready. You can't just jump into the holiest places in the world. You have to prepare yourself. If I am getting ready for the most intimate parts of tefillah, I have to get ready, I have to build it up. I didn't just jump into the Kodesh HaKadoshim. That's the Ulam, it's the antechamber. We finished that with Yishtabach. Now we're at the Heichal. When you walked into the Heichal, you found the Shulchan on the right, and the menorah was on the left. The shulchan represented the physical aspects of our lives, and the menorah is the spiritual aspect of our lives. How many brachos are in Birchos HaShachar? 2. Yotzer Or is the physical parts. God makes the light and darkness. And Ahava Rabbah, God gives us spirituality and ruchnias and Torah and learning. And then that continues with Shema, the deeper connection. And finally, is the Kodesh HaKadoshim. When I have finally built it up, I have walked through, so to speak, the Beis Hamikdash, and I have gotten to the Kodesh HaKadoshim. I am alone in the holiest place in the world as I say my Shemona Esrei. And how amazing is it, says Rav Schwab, that what do we do when we finish davening? 3 steps back. Take back to the Heichal, go back to the Ulam, and go back to the Azara. When we daven every day, as we begin to learn these tfilos of Psukei de Zimra, let us realize that we are davening like we're walking in the Beis Hamikdash. There is so much more to share on this idea of how much it's modeled. That's how Chazal modeled our davening and how they created and they structured it. But we should feel that we are walking in the Beis Hamikdash, that our Psukei de Zimra is preparing us, and that the Shemona Esrei is the Kodesh HaKadosh.